ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್, ಕೇಳಿಸಿದ್ಯಾ? ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಕ್ಷಯ್, ಭೈರವಿ, ಏಕರ್, ನಿತ್ಯ.
ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್.
ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಏನ್ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಹೊರಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ಒಂದಿನ ಆಫ್ಲೈನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಒಂದಿನ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್, ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟಿವ್ ಡೇಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಯಾವ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ ಅಮ್ಮ ಇದು? ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಟುಡೇ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. So we'll be discussing about notes making, okay, because it is very important aspect for your preparation. So for every article or like whatever you do, whatever you read, at least you have to make some notes of it. So that is what we'll discuss today. Notes making from this newspaper article. So how to make notes on the major issues. Okay. Issues we have to notes and how do we address the demand of the questions based upon our notes. This is what we'll discuss today. So we'll take one article. Okay, yesterday we discussed water management, glaciers. Okay, that article we'll read it again. Matte illi odona articles na. We'll mark few things. We'll mark data and everything, and we'll make notes here itself. Then we'll try to address our mains questions. Okay, there are around 6 to 7 questions are there, depending upon the same article which we discussed. So based upon our notes, we'll try to address the questions. That is what we're discussing today. Okay, so very important is today. Please try to make best use of it first. Okay. Before that, what are topics we discussed in last class? Last class, we have to turn the pages. 10 of bridge work madadra. Did you ask work? Highest lively bridge. Okay, good. Madan? Okay, connecting. Then? Okay. It helps in connecting the Kashmir. Okay, that is okay. See, one there's a news. There's a news. China Bridge inauguration is the news. What is the issue? And like, what is the major advantage of it? Now there is a Kashmir connectivity just alva. So we can go from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and Tirthala. So we can directly go from. There is a connectivity just that is the one major thing, advantage of it. I'll be anything else discussed?
Transportation. China Bridge pipeline. Transportation.
Okay. Apart from that, any other topic we discussed?
Advanced technology infrastructure.
That is fine. China BT. Anything else we discussed yesterday? Liquidity. Okay. What are the things about liquidity and trade? So how fast we can commit it to cash? Okay. What are the liquid? CRR, SLR. What is CRR? Cash reserve ratio. ಎಷ್ಟು percentage? Usually 4% ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Where do we deposit? In banks will deposit in RBI. Okay. Then what about SLR ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ? SLR, statutory liquidity ratio, in the form of what? Cash, gold, or government securities. Where do they deposit? With themselves. Okay, they keep it themselves. Okay. Then what else we discussed? What happens if CRR reduces? Money supply will increase because banks will have more funds to lend to the public, so they will again money supply will increase. Again, it lead to economic growth also. Okay, what is the policy of RBI? Policy name, monetary policy. What else we discussed? Glaciers. What are the importance of glaciers? What will we discuss today? Okay, don't worry. Any other things?
Water management system in India.
ಅದು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಇವತ್ತು. ಓಕೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು loan to value ratio. What is that loan to value ratio? Like how much loans they are getting for the value of that thing. So if it is LTV is increasing, what's the meaning of it? LTV is increasing. What happens to money supply? Increases out. So they get more loans. So loan to value for 1 gram of gold, they are getting more loans now. So that means the loan value increases. Again, it would increase the money supply in the market. So those are the things we discussed in the last class. Today we'll take up that article again about the glaciers part. Again, we'll try to mark some of the few points there itself. So we'll mark few data points and we'll try to make notes. Okay, 1 point gap net. So this is the article. So how many of you, say, be honest, how many of you reading newspapers? Online and offline. Hand read ಮಾಡಿ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ. ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? ಓಕೆ. Only main, like only headings only, na?
No, sir, full editorials. News ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ.
Okay. That is fine. Are you reading newspaper ಓದ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ? newspaper ಓದ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ? ವಂಶಿ, newspaper ಓದ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ? No. Kaveri. Only headings. Even after 6 months of coming to institute, you are still reading headings only. Ananya, are you reading newspapers? What about online students? Nitya, Pooja, Sahana, Akshay, Bhairavi? Are you guys
Sir, I'm
reading
reading.
newspaper? Reading. Okay. Then in yesterday's editorial, Alva, I did not discuss few of the points. Why did you raise your this concern? You guys were waiting, huh? Okay, but whenever I say important, Alva, late about tell you are also late, obviously. So next time in the after 10 o'clock, 9 time, I don't allow only with the particular reasons ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಇಲ್ಲ allow ಮಾಡೋದು. It's like a ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ benefit ಅಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. ಈಗ like I have to start 10 minutes late. They come online over ಕಾಟ ಟೈಮ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. Again I have to start 10 minutes. I have to wait for you guys 10 minutes. ಮತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ವೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. Okay. Settle down. So how many of you reading newspapers daily compulsory? ಓದ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ? What about ಸೌಂದರ್ಯ? Newspaper reading. ಇನ್ನು ಓದ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಓದ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ? But online? ಪುನಃ ಸ್ಕಿಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? So that is fine. So ಒಂದ್ಸಾರು ನೋಡ್ತೀರಾ? ನೋಡ್ಬೇಡಿ ಇನ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಓದಿ ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿಪ್ಪ. ಓಕೆ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಶೋನ್ ದ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಎಸ್ಟರ್ಡೇ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯು ನೋ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಇವನ್ ದೋ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಸೊ ಬಟ್ ಯು ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ನೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ CRR ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾ ಯು ನೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ CRR ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ CRR ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ದ ಮನಿ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಅಗೇನ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಲೀಡ್ ಟು growth in the economy. So without studying economy, you are know about this concept. And you know about SLR by ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ SLR by ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. You know about loan to value ratio. You know about inflation by ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. You know about GDP by ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. Without reading anything about economy, you still know about these concepts. Why? Because of the current affairs. Because of the newspapers only. It is the only place where you study about everything. Quality, economy, security, IR. Observe ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ IR ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಈಗ ಬಟ್ we discussed about India ಮತ್ತೆ European Union relationship. We discussed about this one. This is the only place we study about every subject of UPSC. That is why I'm stressing more on current affairs. So you have to study. Hey, there is no matter what. Don't give me reasons. From tomorrow onwards, you have to study. ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ಲೇಬೇಕು ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ and I'll ask the article questions ನಾನು ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. At the same time, I may ask some of you to explain the articles also. So it's not like completely alien, at least few points about the article. That will be sufficient for me. Okay. So gap naikode, these are the only place where you study about everything. So please don't skip newspapers. Very, very important. So in today's class, we'll discuss about note making from the articles. Some of you are concerns, like how to make notes. That's what we'll discuss today. We'll make one notes based upon one article, which we discussed yesterday, glaciers with water management. That one will make notes reading that article. Again, we'll try to address the main questions. There are few questions which I'll show you. We'll address the demand of the questions. Making up notes. Okay, one thing about this article. So one thing is gap naikodi water management bandaga. So this is a very important article for your main SIG. Tumba important, especially for your geography, for DSM management also, for environment also. Everything it becomes very, very important article. Okay. So whenever you're reading newspapers, it is not like entire article tumba important iradla. Only there are few points, there are few issues irutte, there are few solutions ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ, there are few data facts irutte. That will be important. But there are few articles which whole article is important. This is one such article. This is one such article where everything is important in this article. Okay, na? So each and every term is important in these articles. That is what we'll discuss today. Okay. So based upon, we'll go ahead. So theme of World Water Day. So what on 22nd March we celebrate it as World Water Day. Okay, ಅದೊಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಫಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ಗೆ. Again, it talks about the glacier preservation. Okay, then what is ಹೇಳಿದ ನಿಮಗೆ 2025 has been declared as the international year for glaciers. Okay, what are the importance of glacier for you? Gap ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು glacier, they are source of water, fresh water, good, ಮತ್ತೆ anything else? ಮೈಕ್ರೋ ಮತ್ತೆ ಡಿಸೀಸಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಇಂದ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಲೈಮೇಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಲೈಮೇಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ವಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್, ದಿ ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಮೆಲ್ಟಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಅಗೇನ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ದ ಸಿ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ರೈಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ನೆಗಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರೋಣ. ಸೊ ಅದರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಕ್ರಯೋಸ್ಫಿಯರಿಕ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ರಯೋಸ್ಫಿಯರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕೋಲ್ಡ್ ಎನ್ವಿರಾನ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ರಯೋಸ್ಫಿಯರ್? Or have you heard this term, permafrost? See, this is how you have to study this paper. Both the colors. Every term is important for the beginners. Like a babies, you are learning new things a lot. Their new words are very, very important for you. What is the meaning of permafrost? What is the meaning of cryosphere?
Permafrost. Most of the time,
Ice cover. What about cryosphere and that? Anyone?
ice, ice,
Ice ಇರೋ ಜಾಗ that is called as permafrost ಅಂತಾರ. Which is more broader in this cryosphere. Okay. See, permafrost is when the land is frozen. Example, when the land is frozen, that is called as permafrost. Example, Antarctic. Okay. Difference in the Antarctic and Arctic. What is the difference? Antarctic is a land. Okay, that is frozen. Okay, but Arctic is a ocean or a sea. That is frozen. Okay, gap net. Okay, what is cryosphere? Cryosphere. Okay, that is the called as ice covered area. Ice covered area. Ice covered area. It could be land also. It could be any seas or glaciers or lakes. Anything which is frozen. Anything, any land part is frozen. That is called as cryosphere. Gap net. Any land, any earth part is frozen. Any water body is frozen, or seas or land is frozen. That is called as cryosphere. If the land is frozen, that is called as permafrost. So this is cryosphere, and the part of it is permafrost. Okay. See why I am saying see, these are things which you did not know, but you did not ask any questions. Okay, so whenever you read the article, make sure you write whatever you don't know. So next time in the work, keep a small diary. Okay, these are the things you have to do for the kind of a part. Next time in the work, so you keep a diary. Okay, na? So whatever the terms, whatever the new terms you read in newspapers, so you can't go about everything. So it takes your time. So what you can do is you can list those keywords in your diary. Which you did not know. So whenever you get a free time, and we have free time, you just start going about these things and start making notes. Notes at least learn about 2 or 3 points about the every keywords which you don't know. Okay, these are the things you have to follow. This is what we followed also. So please, I suggest you to follow these things. Okay, small diary calling. So whenever you get a new terms which you don't know, so start writing in your diary. So when you get a free time, when you are traveling, if you are traveling in your bus, or you can go about those terms and you can learn about these things. Okay, this is how you have to increase, upgrade your knowledge. Okay, this is the one point you have to remember. Cryosphere and permafrost. Okay, so what are the importance of this? What is the importance of cryosphere? Importance of cryosphere. Nothing but glaciers only. Importance of same thing. Importance of glaciers is equal to cryosphere. Okay, I'll come back to it. So this is the one term we learned. Okay, what are we discussing here? 2025 has been declared an international year of glaciers. That means that the glaciers are very important for us. That is why United Nations has declared the 2025 as international year for glaciers. So this can become your introduction. Okay, na? So if you start along, when you are studying newspaper, whenever you are answering any questions, for question answer one of the basic way is definition. Okay, if there is any keyword, if there is any keyword in the questions, you can define that question. Okay, you can define that keyword in your definition or in your introduction. Sorry, in your introduction, you can define that keyword, or you can write any current affairs event for your answer. You can begin your answer with the current affairs part, or you can define the term. Okay, this is the one way you can start your answers. So this is the one way. If you get any questions on glaciers, you can quote this as example, or you can quote this as introduction. This is the introduction part. Observe Madi, when you're reading article bandaga, this part becomes your introduction, this part becomes your conclusion. Okay, this part becomes your conclusion. These parts are very, very important when you're reading newspapers. Okay, so you directly get conclusions here. You can copy these kind of conclusions in your notes. It will be very helpful. Here we get introduction. In this part, we majorly discuss about solutions, ugly issues, that one we'll address it today. Okay. Again, what they are saying is, and one more is there is one report also they are given. United Nations World Water Development Report. Okay, just write these names. Okay, it will be helpful somewhere. Okay, then vocabulary. Next to observe water connects both these geographical entities, and there are clear upstream and downstream linkages. ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ನಮಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತೀರಾ. So observe ಮಾಡಿ, there are one term called as groundwater aquifers. What is the meaning of aquifers? Anyone? Aquifers ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಿರಾ? See, this is how you have to read the newspaper ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ. So you have to learn whatever you get for new terms. We have to catch every new word in the articles. That is when you increase your knowledge. ಹೇಳದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ. So practice these kind of things. It will be helpful. What is the meaning of aquifers? Filters. Aquifers ಹೇಳಿಲ್ವಾ?
Stones ಎಲ್ಲ
These are like a underground stone ತರ. So they like they store the water. Okay, we have groundwater ಅಂತಲ್ಲ. So we have a stone. There is a stone which they are rocks which store the water. Groundwater. That is called as aquifers ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Aquifers. That is called as aquifers. One point gap nearly. So again we'll go again. There is one approach called as the C2 answer. Okay. So we are focusing on the source to sea approach, which was proposed in the. Whenever we are doing something important, I'll go out specific. Okay. So here it says the current water management system practices often overlook the linkages, but right now we have to focus on the concept of source to sea approach, which are proposed in the Manila Declaration. This keyword nobody asked. Questions ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So what they'll ask is in prelims ಅಲ್ಲಿ, so Manila Declaration was in use. It is input to what? Questions ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. They may give 5 or 4 options. So this is how you have to work. This is your homework. This is what you have to do. At least one word about this kind of things. What is the meaning of this Manila Declaration? What does it talk about? This one you have to work. Are you getting this? So see, everything one article you learn about a lot of things, but we miss such an article. Now miss ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತೀವಿ. But you have to understand that I can't do everything here. I have to discuss other articles also. So this is your job. If you come prepared, then we can discuss this easily. But if you're not doing it, it's a problem for you. So make sure you're reading it. Okay. So what they're saying is here, glaciers importance. This becomes introduction. Again, one approach has been given here. Then come back. So other initiative would be this one also. The Stockholm International Water Institute also launched the action platform for source to sea management initiatives in 2014. Okay, this would be your point. One point on initiative bandaga at international level to conserve the water bandaga. One point agutta. Again, one more point is here. So what is the problem ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ? So when we are water management bandaga, in terms of water management, what we do is rivers here we have different things. The rivers we want to conserve in a different way. The lakes will have a different phenomena, and we have aquifers here. Aquifers they have a different mechanism for the conservation. So there is no unity. So there is a fragmentation in the policies of the government to conserve the river bodies. River is separate agide. Again, lakes is separate agirutte. Again, aquifers separate agirutte. So what they are saying is you have to amalgamate all these kind of things. So you have to consider them as a single entities. Single entity consider ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, then you can conserve easily. That is what it is talking about. Okay, that is what it says here also. Okay, ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಓದಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ. Okay, then observe ಮಾಡಿ, there is one more facility is also there. These are the keywords. Global environmental facility. There is a keyword you can work on later. ಮತ್ತೆ ಬನ್ನಿ. Okay, observe ಮಾಡಿ, there is one data is given. Niti Aayog study. Why is it? Okay, Niti Aayog study reported that water stress might. Why? Am I doing something wrong? Yes, ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ. Okay. According to Niti Aayog report says that water stress might affect 600 million people, likely to loss of 6% of GDP. This is a diamond link. This is like a diamond link. This is what you have to make in your notes. Okay, na? So water stress ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ, if you get any questions regarding water stress, you can code this data. Okay, so we need facts. Example ಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಇಡ್ಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಡಲೆಪುರಿ ತಿನ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವೀಟ್ಸ್ ಖಾರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್ ಒನ್. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ರೈಟ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೀ ಕಡಲೆಪುರಿ ತಿನ್ನೋಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾರು ಇಷ್ಟಪಡಲ್ಲ ಕಡಲೆಪುರಿ ತಿನ್ನಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಶುಗರ್, ಅದು ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಶುಗರ್ ಸಿರಪ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ವೈಟ್ ಕಲರ್ ಬರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಬತಾಸ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ರೌಂಡ್ ಕಲರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ರೌಂಡ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಅಂತಾರ. ಸೊ ಆತರ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಸಮ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಆತರ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ. So you need these kind of points. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಬಲ್ one point is there. This is the data which you have to make in your notes. ಮತ್ತೆ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಡೋಂಟ್ ಬರಿ. ಆಲ್ ದ ಡೇಟಾ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಬಿನ್ ಗಿವನ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಅಕ್ವಾಡಕ್ಟ್, ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಅಟ್ಲಸ್ ಆಫ್ I hope I don't get any bad words in my mouth being frustrated about this. Okay. ನೀಟಾಗಿ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಲ್ಲ 1 point. Why it's happening like this? Okay. Okay. It was aqueduct. What's happening? Anybody know? ಯಾರೋ ಶಾಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದಾರಪ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲಿ? ಯಾರೋ ಬೈಕ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದಾರಾ? Okay, I'm not ಹಂಗೆ ತೋರಿಸಿ ನೋಡಿ. We are starting. I can mark it here also. Okay. Okay, this point gap method. Okay, observe ಮಾಡಿ. One thing ನೀಟಾಗಿ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದೆ about the water space. This point also becomes very important for your notes here. Other point is aqueduct, water risk atlas of the world. What it says, observes India is one of the countries which could face extreme water stress in the future. This report you can use in your notes. Okay, that part on gap method. Other point. Okay, see, this is the issues with respect to, this is what I give you. Observe ಮಾಡಿ, ಪಾರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು. India's water management problems are. This is just setting the use not one. India's water management problems are. This is your notes card. Directly, you can write this one in your notes. What they have given, I told you, fragmented and sectoral approach. Because rivers have different approach, lakes have different approach, aquifers have different approach. That's the meaning of this. Fragmented and sectoral approach. Other reasons, because rivers and other water bodies often feel interstate. How the interstate, for example, Kaveri. We have a dispute between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. It would lead to disputes. Again, it will affect the water management of the Kaveri. There is a one other point. This is one point. This is second point. Again, third point is multiple political jurisdiction. Again, we have central government is there. We have state government is there. So there is a multiple political jurisdiction also involved in the water management. This is also another issue. Again, same water body. Okay, 4 different government systems address it. Private property owners operate on the local panchayats. Issue out. Third issue. Again, state government operates. Okay, these are the major issues with respect to water management in India. Are you getting this? But the points on Martin, don't worry. So, this point gap make good. But again, okay. One of the major solutions which we can give is we have to have a national policy for water. Okay. This is the solutions part. What they have given here. This is the solutions part for your problems. Okay. One thing is what we can do is we can go for the national water policy. This is one of the solutions. You don't study in your notes. Please make sure you write these kind of things. Make notes smart, don't worry, but gap national water policy, and these are the bodies outside the then there is a ministry called as Ministry of Jal Shakti to handle water management. Okay, I'll be back my best. Again, okay, these are the why we have to conserve water, because to achieve the sustainable development goals. It has been given here. This is the conclusion part, your answer. So here we have the introduction, interstellar glaciers. Again, one approach is there. Then we have problems in there. Then we have some data files also is there. Then some solutions are there. What else you need the right answers? But then national water. National water policy ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಂದ It means like how do we have? Okay, so why do we have policy? Policy ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಹೇಳಿ? To reform something, to have some objectives, to achieve some objectives, we have a policy. So if we broadline about water management policy, if we broadline our what are the initiatives which we take to conserve water, that is given in policy. So if we make it is very specific actually though. It is being very specific. We need to have a unified national policy for water. That could be a best answer. That's best point also. Okay. So ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ. ಬೇಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಓಕೆನಾ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು. So one introduction ಬಂತು. Some facts were there. Some problems were discussed and there were some solutions. Okay. And some conclusion also is given. Okay. This is how you have to make the note. Let's see some questions. Observe ಮಾಡಿ. This was one question. Grow water potential of the Gangetic Valley and the serious decay, how may affect the food security in India? So not entirely that article link agadiಲ್ಲ, but somewhere it is linked to somewhere it is linked to that article. Observe ಮಾಡಿ again, consequences of climate change and food security of tropical countries. ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. World today, access to fresh water. This was one of the important question. Observe ಮಾಡಿ. ಇದು ಕೂಡ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Again, that link. How do the melting of Arctic ice and glaciers in the Antarctic differently affect the weather patterns and human activities on the Earth? One of the important things, because of climate change, the glaciers are melting. That is what this question talks about. Again, observe Madi, what are the environmental implications? Acclimation of water bodies, again, observe Madi, one of the important, same thing, which have been linked here. How will the melting of Himalayan glaciers will have a far-reaching impact on the water resources of the India? Same question. This is what we're discussing right now. Okay. Again, Freddy could have a question. Every year they ask one question regarding water bodies. Observe Madi. So every year there was one question. Ready? Again, important question. Write this one. Answer very easy. What is water stress? How and why does it differ regionally in India? Write this question and write your answers. What is water stress? What is water stress? And how and why does it differ regionally in India? Can you tell me what is the meaning of second part? How and why it does it differ regionally in India? Okay. Examples.
Himalayan
Okay. We are talking about water stress. In which state we see water stress? Rajasthan, Gujarat part. We see more water stress regions. In North Karnataka also, no? In North Karnataka also. Okay, Gulbarga, Kalburgi, Ballari. In those regions, we observe this water stress. In North Karnataka also. That is what they are asking. How and why it differs regionally? India, some parts have water stress. Why there is more water stress in those regions? How and why does it differ regionally? So work on this. We'll discuss. So what about introduction? Water stress. So here, this is where you can write this data. This is our cases. Okay. See, observe Madi. Delta data illede. Niti Aayog prakara around 600 million people. ಏನು ಫಿಗರ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಇವತ್ತು? According to Niti Aayog report, around 600 million people face water stress in India. This is a very good introduction for your answers. See, observe ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. You cannot answer your question as an answer because you have to make the notes properly. Otherwise, you cannot answer the questions. So you have to make notes in such a way that you can answer the question, any questions by modifying your notes. Okay, so that is what we'll do. So, okay, we'll make notes. Let us talk about the water management. This is one of the issue. Correct? This is the issue. What is the introduction for you? See, if you are taking notes, use A4 sheets. Okay, use A4 sheets and leave a margin also. If issue sheet, so you leave a margin for your updation. Okay, In future, if you get some articles regarding same issue bandaga, you can add to your notes. Okay, please don't make in your books and all. Okay, books are madakobadi. Usually we can adopted it. Usually use A4 sheets, spiral pending ones. Okay, then you can add easily. That is one point gap method. Other point is make notes on issues. Notes on issues are very important, not on news. The difference ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, you will get more articles on issues. ನೀವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಾಟರ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ನೋಡಿ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ವಾಟರ್ ಫ್ಲಡ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಇಶ್ಯೂ, ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಆ ತರ ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಕೇಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಟುಮಾರೋ ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಅದರ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ದ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ದಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ. ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಇನ್ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಫ್ ದ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಪೀಟಿಂಗ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅನ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ಒನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಅದರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ವೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. GS1, GS2 or GS3 or ethics. Or it is not possible ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, you can go for geography, DSM management and environment, because both are linked. ಮೂರು ಲಿಂಕ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಒನ್ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್, ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಹಿಡಿಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಅದರ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ or social justice, maybe governance also. Okay, or quality also you can link here. Okay, you can make separate notes. ಓಕೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೇರೆ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಅಥವಾ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೈಯರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಿವ್ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆನಾ, ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ದಿ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿರೋದು. ಸೊ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ಗೆ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆರ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದಿ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಪೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಮಚ್. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೇಕ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ A4 ಶೀಟ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿ, ಬಟ್ ಶೀಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ, ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿ. ಶೀಟ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ, ಈಗ ಈಸಿಯಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಟ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಇಟ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಶೀಟಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ. ಸೊ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, A4 ಶೀಟ್ಸ್ ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬಡ್ಡಿ ಬುಕ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ದಟ್ ಇನ್ ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ಯು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ನೋಟ್ಸ್. Okay, this is water management system. One will do one. So water management. So what are things we did? So write answers. What is the structure for write answers? Any answers? First is introduction. Okay, what are the things you can write in introduction? One is you can define it. One is definition of it. Any keyword ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ, or in this question ಬಂದಾಗ, so either you can define what is the meaning of water stress. You can define it, or you can give data, which we give alla Niti Aayog report. Or one is data also you can give. According to Niti Aayog report, this is many people are facing 600 million of people facing water stress in India. This is one data you can give. Other thing is your current affairs, any current affairs issue. Okay, recently these states faced water crisis. Atara. So in 3 or 4 ways you can start your introduction. Okay, this is ತುಂಬಾ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ನೋಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ, ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೊ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಐದರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ದ ಟರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ಸ್, ಆರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕೋಟ್ ಎನಿ ಡೇಟಾ, ಆರ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕೋಟ್ ಎನಿ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಫೇರ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಒನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ದಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್, ವಾಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಮೇಜರ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಎನಿ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ, ಫಾರ್ ಎನಿ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಕಾಸಸ್. ಆರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಹೋಗಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ವಾಟ್ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ಸ್? ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ if they're asking about glaciers, like question ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತಿದೆ, what are the importance of glaciers? That alva freshwater sources, then albedo, some few points. Other points at least from 5 to 6 points. Okay, keep it limited. Okay, at least 6 to 8 points sufficient. Okay, 6 to 8 points for every heading. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ because 6 to 8 points ನಮ್ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಬರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಬಟ್ when we go for exam ಆಗಿ ನಮ್ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ 5 ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. In that one we write 3 or 4. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ so at least make 6 to 8 points with along with your examples also. So not only the points, you have to write the examples also. If you say glaciers hold fresh water, what is the percentage they hold fresh water? What percentage they hold fresh water? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ data ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Quote that data here. Okay, for every point you should have you have to justify that point. That means by giving examples or by giving data. Are you getting this? So water stress ಇದೆ ಅಂತ India. Water stress is there in India, but you have to justify it. How do you justify it? By giving data. According to Niti Aayog report, these many people are facing water stress in India. This is how you justifying your point. So by writing only this point is like creating contemporary atara. But you have to justify each and every point in your answer. Every point make a very valid one. So it makes a very valid score. Help out the data. Okay, so first is the importance. Okay, about that issue ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ, so you write about the importance. Next point is what are the causes for the issue? ಏನ್ ಕಾಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? What are the causes What are the problems? What are the problems? Problems or causes? ಎರಡು ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಬಂದಾಗ. What are the problems ಬಂದಾಗ? ವಾಟರ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಏನು? ವಾಟರ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ಲೇ, ಫ್ರಾಗ್ಮೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ನೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ನಾವು ಮೊನ್ನೆ. ಪೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಫ್ರಾಗ್ಮೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಅಥವಾ ಇಂಟರ್ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಯೂಟ್ಸ್, okay, and few other points. That is 6 to 8 points. Okay, 6 to 8 points about the causes. Arakidella 6 to 8 points about the causes. Next about the impacts. What are the impacts? What are the impacts of water stress? ಏನು ಆಗ್ಬೋದು impacts? Okay, food insecurity. Okay, food security affect ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. everything food security affect ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Again, it may affect the economy also. It may affect people. It may lead to health impacts also. Correct? Health impacts, it can include to negatively impact the health of the people. But some other impacts, at least 6 to 8 impacts. Okay, that's this is the one thing. Other point, what are the initiatives taken by the government? What are the initiatives taken by the government for water management? Anything you know about this one? What are the initiatives taken by the government for the water management? Jal Jeevan Mission, money Jal Jeevan Mission. Okay, at least 5 initiatives. Okay, at last, some suggestions or way forward.
ನಮಾಮಿ ಗಂಗೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಪ್ಪ, ನಮಾಮಿ ಗಂಗೆ ಆಗಲಿ, ಓಕೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಅಟಲ್ ಭುಜಲ್ ಯೋಜನಾ ಆಗಲಿ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಕೀಮ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ದೆನ್ ಇಸ್ ವೇ ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ಆರ್ ಸಜೆಷನ್ಸ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸಜೆಸ್ಟ್. In this one suggestion was given as national water policy. We have to have a unified national water policy for comprehensive water management system in India. River linkage, river linkages. We can work on river linkage. Negative with you can give let them think or think about it. We are not doing like writing a lot. Don't think about those sort of things. In suggestion got back other. Again, 5 suggestions. 5 to 6 suggestions. This is your notes. First is introduction. It could be your current affairs part, or it could be your definition or any data. Okay, this is for introduction for your question. Again, we have to know about the importance of that. Again, some causes are the problems, then impacts, then initiatives, then way forward, or your suggestions. Okay, depending upon this, we can answer any questions. Okay, I think we have to modify it. I'm not saying everything, but we have to modify a little bit. Okay, so let me take one question. There is one question is here. How does cryosphere affect the global climate? Observe, Madi, if you do not know the meaning of cryosphere, you cannot answer this question. So that is why every keyword is very important in the article. How does the cryosphere affect the global climate? If this question comes in 2020 season one, if this year, how do we address this question? How does cryosphere affect the global climate? What is your introduction? Define cryosphere. Okay, how do you define cryosphere? Okay, any frozen land part, okay, earth part on the earth surface, it is called as a cryosphere. That is one part. Other part, another definition or another part of introduction. What is definition? Issues. Because of climate change, the glaciers is melting. Other point agutalla. Other introduction could be this one also. No? So this year, okay, what they have declared international year for glaciers. Okay, showing the importance of cryosphere for the world. This could be also your introduction. This could be your introduction also. One thing is define cryosphere. Other thing is you can code this as example. This is kind of a part. You can code this one. Okay, or you can say because of climate change, melting of glaciers are happening and this is affecting the cryosphere part of the earth. Okay, that is the one part. You can start your introduction. Are you getting this? Okay, that is it. Then I what is how does it affect the global climate? How does it affect climate? Global climate. Rising sea level because of melting of glacier. Climate
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಅಂತ
Okay. So good. At least good question. What is the meaning of climate? What is climate? Okay, what is the meaning of climate change ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ. Climate change ಕೇಳಿದ್ರಾ? ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳಿರ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ. What is the meaning of climate? What is the meaning of weather?
weather
ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಟರ್ಮ್
Short term, like ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿನ short term ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು.
ಇಯರ್ಲಿ
Yearly of what? What kind of conditions? Atmospheric conditions. What are those? Correct ಅಲ್ಲ? So weather is phenomena for day to day. We check the what is the weather today ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ. For a day to day, what we take is we check about temperature check ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, temperature, humidity or precipitation. So we check these parameters on a day-to-day basis. That is called as weather. Okay, the weather condition for a period of longer period of time, for example, 20 to 25 years. 20 to 25 years weather pattern for a longer period of time, that is called as climate. Okay, for a longer period of time, temperature agli, precipitation agli, humidity agli, for a longer period of time, it is called as climate. So when I say about climate change, that means these climatic patterns is like about rainfall agli, athwa humidity, temperature, rainfall, these are changing. That is the meaning of climate change.
ಇದರಿಂದ ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಮೆಲ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದು
ಏನಪ್ಪ?
ಇದಾಗ್ತಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಮೆಲ್ಟ್
ಹಾ,
ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ.
ಹೌದು.
ಗ್ಲೇಷಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಮೆಲ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ?
It is cycle alva ಅದು. It is a complete cycle ತಾನೆ. Because of global warming, again sea levels are rising. ಅಂದ್ರೆ because of glaciers are melting. Okay, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ? Okay, see, because of climate change, okay, ಅಂದ್ರೆ one of the matter is because of global warming. Because of global warming, what's happening? Glaciers are melting. Because of global warming, the glaciers are melting. Because of glaciers melting, what I told you, carbon dioxide again releasing. Because I told you, because they store carbon dioxide, melting of glaciers, again they release the carbon dioxide. Again, what will happen? Again, they will increase the global warming. It is a cycle. Okay. Then how does it affect the global climate? As affect ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. One is rising of sea level. ಮತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ಓಕೆ, ಮತ್ತೆ change in monsoon season. Okay, ಮತ್ತೆ so try to answer it. ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Okay, 2 questions are given. ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ 2 questions. ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ 2 question. We'll see. Tomorrow we'll discuss that one. So are you getting this? Okay, so this is how you have to make the notes. Notes ಮಾಡತ್ರ ಇದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡಿ. This is my suggestion. Don't rely on any online source. You have to write. Okay, otherwise don't go for shortcuts and keep a separate diary. Start learning new things as soon as possible. Okay, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಎಕನಾಮಿ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ. So please don't wait for the classes. Okay, you have to revise. I'm keeping it simple also here. ಬಂದಾಗ ಎಕನಾಮಿ ಬಂದಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂತಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ there are other points also ಸಿಆರ್ ಬಂದ ಮತ್ತೆ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ದೇರ್. ಬಟ್ ಸಮ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್. ತುಂಬಾ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಓದಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ. ಸೊ ದೋಸ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಜ್ಞಾಪನ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಸಿ ದಿಸ್ PYQs ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ? PYQs, ಹೌ ಮೆನಿ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ PYQs PDF ಇದೆಯಾ? PDF ಇದೆ, ಪ್ರಿಂಟೆಡ್ ಕಾಪಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ಔಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಮೇನ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಟ್ರಪ್ಪ ಈಗ. ಸೊ ರೈಟ್ ನೌ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಆನ್ ಮೇನ್ಸ್. ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಅಗೇನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ರೈಟ್ ನೌ ಫೋಕಸ್ ಆನ್ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮ್ಸ್, ಸಾರಿ ಮೇನ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಗೆಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. Okay, please verify after every topic or every ಬಂದಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೊರಟಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ. So please verify the questions. Okay, anything else? Honest student ಇದೀನಪ್ಪ. ಭೈರವಿ, ಅಕ್ಷಯ್, ಚೈತ್ರ, ನಿತ್ಯ.
Nothing, sir.
Nothing. ಏನಿಲ್ಲ. Okay pa, thank you. We'll continue next class.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.